Next question.
With streaming becoming more and more prevalent, it feels like every year, is there a rush to complete your voice acting jobs more so than it used to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have directed a bunch of simuldubs, and I know a lot of us have been in simuldubs. Behind the scenes, it's even quicker than I'm sure it seems from the actor side. The actor side is like, I'm coming every week to do my character, and if they can't get me this week, they got to get a voice match, which is crazy to me. But we have I did a show that was 2 episodes a week.
What?
Mm-hmm. Arte was 2 episodes a week.
Oh my gosh.
And so sometimes it can feel like you are marathoning through that show, which on the one hand is kind of fun because you don't have to wait for the next episode. You don't have to go, oh man, I wonder what's going to happen next. I know what's happening next. But also you're like, I don't have a lot of time to craft. I don't have a lot of time to work with it. So you just got to, get some people that you really trust. I had a great cast on that show. I had Felicia Angel and Gianni Masciagrano as my leads. So very strong cast, and then we just blitzkrieg through it.
That is a wild thing that's new, I think, with the whole simuldubbing. Like when that started, it was like crazy to think. Like I remember My Hero, even like during the pandemic when we were recording at home, it was like, we still gotta get these episodes out, and we're in our closets and stuff recording at home and remotely, and just to think how streaming has kind of changed the landscape of a lot of our work. Even writing, I know you deal with this a lot, but like when I was writing a show that she was in, they were like, yeah, so you get the episode this day, and then we need it by like 2 days later, and then you have also that's 2 episodes at a time, and I was like, breathing heavy and screaming and sweating and being like, I don't know what's happening. So it is kind of wild to see how it has gone from like, yeah, let's do this episode, we're gonna go in, and now it's like, okay, there's 32 episodes this week, and you have 4 hours to complete it, so have fun.
But here's the thing, it's so necessary now, because with the streaming culture, anime dies once it leaves its season.
Yep.
If you do not dub it the same season that it is relevant, people don't watch the dub. People do not watch shows after the season is over unless it was really, really, really popular. So generally, you have to get it out week by week. As much as I'm sure all of us would love to take our time and love to, be artsy and really massage our work. If you're not right behind the Japanese broadcast, most people are not ever going to give the dub a watch unless it comes so much later that it's like a throwback. I recently directed the dubs of Gunbuster and Lovely Complex, and people watch those because those shows are so old that people are like, oh my god, it's a fresh reason to rewatch the show. But if you're doing a simuldub or a recent anime 1 season late, 2 seasons late, people are just like, why is it late?
Yeah, they're like, why are you here?
Yeah, why would I watch it now? I already watched it last season. So it really is a necessity of how anime culture has changed. And when I was young and going to cons, I remember the Gravitation dub premiered at my first con, and that was like a big event. For a dub to premiere was a big thing because they were probably working on it for months, and like nobody even knew it was coming. Now it's like if it's not getting announced within 2 weeks of the first Japanese episode, people assume it's never happening, and it's dead on the vine.
What do you think is the most important thing that you have learned since you've started your career?
I think it would be careful of reading the comments. And make sure that you surround yourself by nice, lovely people, like these people, that are always there to support you, and make sure you're proud of your work. That's we don't have very long to make things, but I always try to make sure I'm proud of whatever it is. That's been my biggest learning curve.
And in the vein of that, you have to be in it for the love of the craft, because you don't make a lot of money. People are all going to have different opinions on if you did good or if you did bad, and just in the industry in general, you face a lot more rejection than acceptance. When you look at the ratio of how much you audition versus how much you book, you're constantly, if you look at it that way, being rejected. But you really have to learn and teach yourself to look at it. It's just, I wasn't right for the role, not that I was bad. Otherwise, you can really just get down in the dumps and think that you suck. So you just have to be in it for the right reasons and enjoy it. Otherwise, you will not have fun.
She hit the nail on the head. It's when you don't book something, it's not because you're not talented, ever. It's simply your interpretation of the character simply wasn't in line with the director's view, right? That's all it is. Just the fact that you got the audition already means that you belong there. you belong in this space, right? So when you don't book something, it's important for young actors to remember it is not about, it's not personal. It's not commentary on your talent or your voice or your worth as an artist. It's mostly business.
I've got a great example.
Yeah.
I was directing a show called Kageki Shoujo, which is a great show, highly recommend it. And when I'm going through auditions, I'm not going, this one's bad, I'm looking for the voice of this character. And as I'm going down, I'm just praying that everyone does great, because that makes my job so much easier. And I was getting towards the bottom of the list and going, oh no, I'm not finding this character's voice. Oh no, I start getting nervous until I hit Sandy Quinn all the way at the bottom. And I go, oh thank God, there she is. As a director, we want the actors to succeed. We want them to book, because if we get through the whole list of actors and there's nobody, then it's panic time. It's panic time. So, that is, for me, one of the most important things I learned. When I get into the booth, I'm not nervous anymore. When I was new, I was really nervous all the time, because I was like, I want to do a good job, I hope they like me, oh my God, what if they never call me back again? But now as a director, I'm like, whenever anyone walks into my booth, I'm just like, cool, they're here, all right, let's do it. And it's a no judgment space. And once I realized that, being on the other side of the glass wasn't so scary. Because I was like, I know that they're not thinking about how bad I'm doing, or they're not thinking about how they regret hiring me. They're just thinking about the next line, and the next scene, and the character. And then on the note of, don't read the comments, the really important thing to remember, especially if you get into anime for the love of anime, is the best thing to do is to make it good the way that you would think it's good.
I love
when I was a young lead, I had my own opinions about what good dubs were and what good dubs weren't, so I just try and imbue my current work with what I think is good and what I think people will like. And I find, I see comments online that are like, I hated the dub, I hated her performance, I hated this, I hated that, but then people come up to me at cons and are like, I loved it, I loved your performance, I love this choice, I love that choice. I mean, it really is all opinion. So the important thing is to make it for the baby weeb in you, who would have liked a particular choice, or would have liked a particular fun thing that you did, or would have liked the voice to be a certain way, and just go, this is for you, baby weeb me. And then you just hope that most of the weebs of today are just like you. And a lot of times they are.
That's so good.
I think another thing to add on to all of that is, if you're a newer actor or you're somebody that doesn't book as frequently as others, people often, I don't think, realize how oversaturated the industry is as well. It's the most fun job in the world to have, and everybody wants to do it, and everybody deserves an opportunity to do it. But when you're not constantly in the vein of the people that are getting sessions and in the mind of the director at the time to get frequent work, having something else to do on the side to focus on instead of just waiting is a big thing in this industry, because you can go a little stir crazy a lot of the time, just waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen.
I was just about to make that point, because I don't want the misconception out there that you see us out here doing conventions that we do voice acting full time.
Right.
There are very, very few voice actors who only do voice acting full time. And out of that, almost none of them do anime voiceover full time. It is simply not a viable way to make a living. To have a mortgage, to put food on the table, it is not viable. So one of the great things about meeting other actors and becoming an actor is you are an actor. Film, TV, commercial VO. I mean, there are so many options. The theater, you have to diversify your portfolio as an actor if you want to be do it full time. And there's no shame in just wanting to do voiceover. That's fantastic, but just know you may have to pick up a commercial VO because it pays 10 times more than anime. I'm just saying. So it's important. So when Cole said have other coals in the fire. Oh, Cole said. I'm so waiting. Okay, so that's for real. The only reason that I survived and I get to work full time as an actor is because I do all of it. I say yes to everything. So
most people in Dallas have day jobs.
Yeah, exactly. So don't be under the, it's great to be up here. We're very grateful to be here, but don't think you seeing us up here means that we do this full time and we, you know what I mean? We don't. Most of us have tons of other acting gigs too.
So I hope that's a comfort for young actors.
Yeah. Exactly. If you don't feel like you're where you're supposed to be, there is no supposed to be.
Yeah.
Don't should this or should I should be. No, don't should on yourself. You are where you are, just enjoy the process and just be an actor. Period.
on yourself.
Don't shit on yourself.
I agree.
Very funny.
That is a